in listen-only mode.
Okay, everyone, hello, and welcome to June's edition of Webinar Wednesday. My name is Dale McAuliffe, and I'll be running through the presentation today. Unfortunately, Jesse couldn't join us, so it'll just be myself. So, as you're aware, today's Webinar Wednesday is on membership, and in particular, the annual billing process. So just a quick run through of what we'll be going through. So as I said, we'll be focusing predominantly on the annual subscription process, but we'll also be explaining just at the end how it ties in with our other applications, including financials, document delivery, and our ClubLink application. So just before we start, the annual billing process, obviously it happens once a year, so it's quite an important process to go through. So it generates the invoices for members all according to their assigned categories and charges. It can also raise one-off additional charges if required. These one-off charges, they don't have to appear on the members' category and charges details. So you can just use the membership search template to select which members you want to bill, and once the invoice is raised, a subscription notice can be printed. The annual billing process can also create installments automatically for direct debit paying members if required. So the first step that we recommend in the process is actually running an unfinancial members report. So the reason we suggest doing this is because once the process has been run, once the subscriptions are generated, and the members are received for the new membership year, you can no longer go back and report on any other previous year's transactions. So it's important that if you want to get your statistics and things like that out, that you do that at the start of the process. So that just goes through the steps there and how to get your statistics out. You just go to the membership and the membership categories area, and from there you can see the statistics button, and that'll give you an idea of how many unfinancial members you've got in the system. So the next step, step number 2 in the process, is to check any category details. So to do this, again, you just go to your membership category section, and you can check the record details, such as the amount of GST, and you can do that just by clicking on the categories button there, filling out selecting which charges or levies you want to do it on, and that'll give you an idea of all the different charge details that are available. So step 3 is to check other charges and levies. So again, you just go into your membership, other charges and levies, and you can check the charges record details, such as, again, the amount of GST. To do this, clicking the next button until you've viewed, all have been viewed, and then you can print them off as well. So that's how you check all your other charges and levies. Step 4. So this is where we can upgrade member categories. So to do this, again, you just go to the membership and membership categories, and we can make sure that all the categories have set up to the auto upgrade category and auto upgrade after certain year settings. So you just change the fields there that you need to. So once, for example, they're the junior ones, once they hit 18 years of old, 18 years of age, they will upgrade to that new category, which in this example is junior under 21s. So you can do that, as it says there, by clicking on the actions and the auto category upgrade button. And then it'll just ask you a few questions to check all the categories. You click yes, and then you enter the year's selection date. Check the date selected, and then again you can print that off for later reference. Click save, and then you've set up your upgrade category, so that'll automatically happen. Once they tick over that age, they'll then promote up to that new category. So step 5 in the process is to check the member's billing details. So what this will do, this is going to produce a report for you where you can check all the members with their categories, their charge codes and their billing amounts. You can check this list and again you can make any corrections if required from this list. So an example there, as it says there, a reason maybe a new member, maybe missing some charges, so you can go ahead and add those charges to those specific members that need to. As it says, to correct the member billing details, you just go into the member detail screen, you find the member and you edit their charge codes, and then you can rerun the report to just make sure it's all correct again. So it's important to do all this before you actually run the subscription, because obviously once it's been run, it's going to pull in whatever's in the member details record, so it's important to check that off just before you run that. So step number 6 is to print your own financial members report. Now again, this is only if required, but you can go to the members reports and the ledger report there, tick on financial and click go, and you can get a list of all your own financial members. And again, that's just a reference point, so you have it all there at the end of your billing year. See who your unsubscribed members were, financial members were. Step 7 in the process. So step 7 is to alter the club details. So before the annual billing process is generated, member ledger details need to be changed, and this is to calculate the financial 2 dates. So to do this, we go to, you need to have system access to the system menu in your Micropower solution. So you've got to go to system and then the club details section, and then under the member ledger tab you'll be able to see that there's a system date, and you'll have the membership year begin. So what you need to do is you just need to modify this field to the start date of the subscription period, and that will ensure that all your invoices when generated at the right date, and then all your member years get calculated when the member is received. Then the next one there, you just need to update the invoice date of last sub's billing, and you modify that to the field of today's date. So that's actually the date that you're going to run the subscription, the renewal on. Then you just save the club details, and that section's done. So that's step 7. So once you've done those first 7 steps, you're then ready to actually generate the subscriptions. So step 8 is generating the subs. Now to do this, what we do is we go to the membership search templates under the membership menu, and you bring up your membership search template. So you create a search template for basically whoever you want to run the subscriptions for. So you don't just have to run it for all members. You can be specific and run it for individual categories if you want to do a category at a time. Or alternatively, if you do want to run it for all members, you can just click the All Members button, and that'll bring up a list of all your members. So you basically choose the search template that you want to use and apply that search template. And then what we want to do is we want to click on the column heading labelled category to sort the list in category order, and you make sure that there are no members without a category code assigned. Obviously, as part of the process, you need to make sure that all members are a part of a category. That way, they can be billed correctly. We then want to click on the member number to sort the list by member number, and we want to make sure that the number, if listed, make sure the number if listed selected equals all. So that's why you select everyone in the list in the template. And you're just going to make sure that everyone is selected, therefore everyone will be part of the subscription run. Then across the top you'll have your generate subs button. We just want to click that, and that's going to take us into the subs, the generate subscription process. We then want to enter the subscription date, and So generally it's the first day of the new member year. So if your process is going to be, if your end of financial year is 30th of June, it's going to be the 1st of July. If you're on a cycle billing, check the box labelled Bill Cycle Billing Members Due By to include these members and enter a date. Otherwise, leave that unchecked if you don't do it that way. So as we move on, it's all about instalments. So obviously we can allow for instalments as part of the process. So you may wish to automatically create direct debit instalments at the time. To do that, you just go to check the box labelled automatically create instalments. So from here you can fill out your instalments information, check which ones you want to do it for, so whether it's just for your direct debit members only, fill out the information, put in how many instalments it's going to be. So in this example, it's 12 instalments over 12 months, so it's 12 monthly instalments. So you can create them. If you require the annual billing process to bill for all of them, you just select that there, as I said. Set the number of instalments and the periods. So that's how you include the instalments as part of the subscription process. So if we keep going with our subscription process, so we're up to step number 12 in that process. So the system will invoice the category and charges that are set up on the members' ledgers. So you don't necessarily need to select any of the account types unless there are some standing charges that you do not wish to bill. So basically it'll come up with the list and you just select, just leave it how it is. And then at this point you add any additional one-off charges. So for whatever reason you might be doing a building levy for 1 year, or a debt a water levy or something like that. What you can do is you can click under the code subheading and enter any required charge codes. Just remember to press the tab twice to fill in the detail. So that's how you add any one-off charges. The next step there is we then enter the title on the subscription notice. So that's what's going to go out to the member. You then select the standard message from the list, and you can modify that if necessary, and then click OK. And then basically you just need to answer yes to raise the subscription charges dated whatever date you put in, to proceed with the billing of all the members on that search list that you brought up. And then the last question you will get there is there'll be a question about printing the subscription notices now. We do recommend clicking no so that you can check that the generation process of the invoice is performed successfully. If you click no, you can print the subscriptions later in the month. Otherwise, if you're happy just to go with it right then and there, you can click the yes button and that'll print all your subscription notices. So now you've generated the subscription for all your members. Step number 9 is to increase the debenture interest rate. Now, if you have debentures and you wish to create a credit on the members' accounts, you can do that by going to membership, data entry routines, and generate the debenture interest. You enter the date for the credit, the interest rate, the credit charge code, and groups if required. So that's just if you're doing that. You just do that after you've generated the subs. Step number 10 in the process. So this is to change the subscription message and titles. So this is when printing your subscription notice. So this if you said no to that step as part of the subscription process, and you now want to print your notices or statements. You may wish to use a message template. So to change the template, you've got total control over them. So to change the templates, you go to your membership and reference files and the invoice statement messages. You can click on new, edit the heading for the message, so for example, annual billing, and then you can type the message in after that, what you want to actually say as part of the message to the members. You click save, and that's done. And then to change the title on the subscription, you go to membership, reference files, and invoice statement titles, and then you can click on new and again enter the title and click save. And then step number 11, which is the final step in the process, is to physically print the subscription notices. So as I mentioned before, the subscription notices can be generated as part of the generate subscription function step 8. But again, you can do it this way as well if you said no to that question. So to do it, you just go to the membership reports and invoice and subscription notices. You fill in the details as required, so the subscription date range, the statement invoice date, the due date, title of the subscription notice and the standard message. Then you click OK. Statements for direct debit payers will not be printed by default, so you need to tick the direct debit payers to print statements for these members as well. For the system to recognise who the direct debit payers are, it needs to be defined in the individual member's details, and there's the section there, the direct debit details section, so you just need to fill that information out in order for the system to know who your direct debit payers are. So that is the final. That was the final step in the subscription process. So now I'd just like to touch quickly on the different integration touch points there are in the system when you are generating your subs. So first one I'd like to touch on is just the financials. So obviously membership integrates directly with Micropower's financial application that we have. Once the subscription process is completed, you'll be able to see instantly in your chart of accounts how much revenue is to be collected. So what's the outstanding amount of subs for this upcoming financial year that need to be collected. When members' subs are receipted, so when you're receiving that member's account, the money will automatically decrease from that liability, and then the revenue is recorded automatically. So there's no double entry of information. Once the information is entered once into the system, it automatically flows through into the financial. So what this does is it avoids any errors from double handling, and it's obviously going to save you time by automatically pushing that information into your financials, so you get a live chart of accounts there with your subscriptions and the receiving of the members process. Document delivery. So another way to save time and save money is to allow the system to actually email out the subscription notices and statements. So basically the document delivery will email almost any report that can be printed in the Micropower system. So it's not just for membership. Obviously the subscription process is probably the biggest individual report that you will send out to your members, so it can save the most time, but this can also send out profit and loss things. It can use in the functions module to send out function orders, so the document delivery can be used in multiple areas of the system. And what it does is it batches the emails that can be sent for all reports, so it saves time and obviously eliminates the stationery and postage costs, which around subscription time can get quite large. When printing subscription renewals for members, the system will create an individual member for each recipient. It will attach their subs notice as a PDF to the email. And what this does is ensures a higher success rate because it avoids spam filters, so you're not hitting 500 odd members in one hit. You're sending them individually through your own email server, so it's eliminating those spam filters that can occur. You can also create templates for the document delivery process, so you could have specific messages on each of those emails. They are individualized, so you can insert merge fields and things like that. So it will say, "Dear Dale, please find your subs notice attached." So it's a good way to send out information quickly. The other application that we've got as part of the membership process is obviously our ClubLink application. So the ClubLink, what it does, it allows you to link your Micropower membership database to your website. It creates a members-only area that you need a password and username to authenticate to get into, and that information is stored in your membership database. So against each member, you'll be able to see the username and the password for them. What it allows you to do is store exclusive content there, so you can put newsletters and special members events can be put up there. It can be linked to, if you're a golf club running timesheets, you can also have the timesheets up there as well. So the club link, it's a secure link, and what it does, it brings the member in as part of the process, because what we can actually do is we can allow the member to self-serve themselves by updating their own details. So if they do change their mobile address, get an email address, they can put that information in online. That then flows through into the Micropower membership system. Someone at the club can then check those changes, so they don't automatically go in. There's a checking process just to make sure the information is correct. All information is entered in the standard way, so some clubs may like to put surnames in capitals. So what you can do is you can actually fix that up before it hits the membership database. And it can also allow members to actually view and pay accounts. So basically, the club link allows you and your club to go take your business online and include the member as part of the process, saving the club time and money in administration. So in terms of how it can help with the membership renewal process, what members can do is they can actually view their accounts online and view their statements at any time. So you can have multiple accounts up here, including the subscription account. You can have golf accounts, house accounts, so you have multiple accounts listed up here, and at any time they can go on there and actually see live how much money is outstanding, and they can view a statement and print it online. So it allows them to always be involved and always know what's going on with their accounts at the club. And then probably the most important part of the online accounts is the ability for them to actually pay their account online, so they don't physically have to come into the club to pay their account. They can actually do it through a secure payment gateway, which links straight back to the membership and financials database. So you can offer multiple card types for them to pay. It works with majority of banks, the big four, definitely ANZ, Commonwealth, Westpac and NAB. We are trying to get with Bendigo Bank and a few of the other regional banks. So at the moment they're the main four it works with, but again, it's going to save a lot of time for clubs in allowing members to receive their subs notice, go online and simply just put in the amount and pay it straight from there. Also gets your revenue ticking over a lot quicker as well, so you're not sitting with a whole heap of unpaid subs. You can get that coming into the club straight away. So again, thank you very much everyone for attending today. I hope it was informative and helps with the renewal process. What I will be doing is I have recorded today's session, so I will be placing it up on our service desk, and we'll send out an email later today to let everyone know how to access this recording, so you can see watch the video again. I'll also be putting the PowerPoint presentation up there again, so you can follow this through as part of when you're doing your subs renewal. So again, thank you for joining us today. Remember, Webinar Wednesday is on the first Wednesday of every month, so we'll be back again in July. Haven't confirmed what the topic for next month is, but we've got a few ideas, and we're hoping we can actually release a new product next month. So stay tuned. We'll let you know what it is. But again, thank you for joining. If there's any questions, I'd like to post them now. I can quickly answer them if there's any questions. If not, again, thank you very much for your attendance.